Can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Y'all can hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Keep working. Someone said, I want a one-on-one and I have a driver and I'm 22. That's what's up. That's what's up. Y'all can hear me? Yeah? Okay, that's what's up. What's up, self-made? Someone said, I got the money to start. Okay. YP and Sean, tap in with me, man. I got some services that I got that can help you get up and running the correct way. Someone says, what's up, Lenny Max? So it's a good place to get an ELD. I got a person that's named Hector that I use for my ELD. Shoot me a message and I can get you in contact with him. Someone said, ever did a data queue for an ELD violation? Lexo, no, I don't. But that's something that my compliance officer will be able to assist you with. When it comes to compliance and stuff like that, I'm not real familiar with the compliance aspect of logistics. I just know how to get you up and running, find drivers, how to read the load board, make money, all of that good stuff. What's up, cuz? How you doing? How you doing? Someone said, I don't have my license, though. I'm going to put it in my grandmama name for now. That's what's up. You know, you don't have to. That's another thing, too. I'm glad you asked that question. Raised that question, I should say. Just because you don't have a license, you can start your whole logistics company and still don't even have a license. Because if you don't plan to drive the truck and you plan to hire drivers, you can have the insurance. And like you said, it's grandmama name, girl name, father name, parent name, anybody's name, and start your logistics company. So it doesn't physically have to be in your name. So that's smart of you right there. You said you got the money, you got the resources. Go ahead and start your logistics company. Like I said, especially if you're not planning to drive the truck, you don't need a license. I'm going to be honest, I've helped people that's not in the country start their company. I had a guy in Trinidad. I had a guy from Germany. I had a guy from one of those other countries. I even help people that's in prison. I have like maybe 3 or 4 people that's literally in prison right now that started a logistics company. The girl helped them set it up. They got drivers. They up and running. And they're literally physically in prison. So you don't have to have your license. And the way I help people get up and running, you don't even have to have, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're not going to drive the truck, you can do everything remotely. Someone said they're suspended for right now until 2028. Okay, that's what's up. Someone said, I'm doing the ride along with your driver Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Okay, that's what's up, Devotion. So for y'all that don't know, I do have a 2 and 3 day driver training class. That's what he's referring to. Someone said, I remember the day I came on your live saying I bought my truck. Unfortunately, I'm struggling to keep drivers, and now I'm going to sell my truck. Catherine. I advise people when they first come on to not buy a truck because a truck is super expensive. And this is a classic example. I don't know your story, but this is a classic example of, when you purchasing a truck and trying to start a logistics company, trucks can be very expensive to maintain, especially if you don't have like I always tell people, when you purchase a truck, make sure you have $10,000, $15,000 in reserve for maintenance. Because a truck is very expensive to maintain. It's nowhere near like a car. It ain't $300, $400 when something go down. But I'm sad to hear that you got to sell your truck. Someone said, I got some money to start, but I need drivers. And I want to start in ATL. You got me? Yes, come on. I got you. I'm in Atlanta. For y'all that don't know, I am in Atlanta. So I can definitely get you up and running here in Atlanta. And classic example, another thing. I've had people that started logistics company and they was in California, but guess what? They put their trucks in Atlanta. Another thing a lot of people don't understand is it's so hard sometimes to get people to understand that when you start a logistics company, if you don't plan to drive the truck, you can put your trucks anywhere. If you think loads are better in Houston, you could be in Atlanta, put your trucks in Houston, especially when you're going the rental route like I recommend or I highly, suggest. You could be in Houston and put your trucks in Cali. You could be in Cali, put your trucks in Atlanta. I have people that's from California that literally have trucks in Atlanta. They don't drive. They don't like Cali. Cali insurance is too high. A lot of stuff in Cali was kind of too high for them. So they wanted to set their trucks up in Atlanta. So you could put your trucks anywhere if you don't plan to drive the truck and if you plan to take the rental route like I, recommend you. Even if you first starting off, like if you have the capital to purchase a truck. Remember, when I started, I came doing real estate. I had enough capital to buy a truck. However, I never bought a truck. I still don't own a truck. All my truck right now are rentals. So there is no difference in somebody buying a truck and renting a truck. Two people, the same exact paperwork. You still got to get an LLC. You still got to get the same exact authority. If you rent or buy, you still got to get insurance. The only difference is when you purchase in a truck, a lot of places want 20% down. And then, you know what I'm saying, you still need to have some money for maintenance. Where if you rent a truck, they usually want like $1,000 down for the rental deposit. The truck breakdown, anything happen to it. The only thing they don't cover is damage. Like if you wreck the truck, total loss the truck, then you would pay a deductible. But other than that, no maintenance, no preventive maintenance, no oil changes, no tires, no nothing. Anything happen to that truck is covered. They'll swap you out of a truck. You know, a lot of people promote it's better to buy a truck. And I get it. If you have the cash, I can understand in certain situations why you would purchase a truck. However, if you don't have 10 to 15,000, do not go out and buy a truck. And then a lot of people, you know, they tell you, get into logistics, go buy a truck. A lot of these people coming home from prison, a lot of these people, you know, just trying to make it out of their job, don't have $20,000 to drop on a truck. So if you don't have 20 grand to drop on a truck, that's just like somebody getting started and they tell you, hey man, you know, go buy a house. Yeah, buying a house is better than renting. However, you got to come up with down payment. You have to come up with that mortgage. Anything breaking that house, you have to fix it. So it's you know, everything is about timing. Don't let nobody force you into buying a truck and you can't afford to maintain that truck. As you just seen, the young lady, she said she purchased a truck. I don't know her situation, but like on a weekly basis, I speak to somebody or I have a consultation where somebody rushed out, purchased a truck, an older truck or whatever truck it is, and the first breakdown, now they're getting a rental truck. They're coming to me so they can get a rental discount, so they can figure out how to get the rental discount so they can pay for the actual truck that's broke down. So now you got a rental truck. Now you have to pay on the rental truck. Now you have to make the money just to fix your truck that you purchased. So just be careful by going out and purchasing a truck. Let's see. Let's see. Let's start. Let's do it. I'm ready. Okay, YP and Sean. Let's go. I'm gonna say I need a ELD too. Okay. Self-made. In my guide, just check it out. In my guide, I have a guy named Hector that you call, and basically he'll get you set up with the ELD. Someone said I've been looking for a name with it. Whatever name you're looking for, YSP and Sean, don't make the mistake that I made when I first started. I'm gonna give y'all a free tip, even though this is in my guide. When you're setting up your company, if you already don't have your LLC already set up, do not put logistics in it, and do not put transportation or carrier or anything like that in it. In the event that later down the line, you want to set up and try to go get you some business funding. If you plan to get business credit, purchase a truck later down the line, or even purchase vehicles as a tax write-off, you do not want those names in it because the banks and financial institutions do frown upon trucking. Trucking is a very, very, very high-risk industry. So banks, credit unions do not like them. So use a name like Enterprise, Holding Company, just something generic. Someone say, can I work under someone's MC? Yes. So I have a masterclass. So you got a couple solutions. You could find somebody else to work under their authority, or I offer a masterclass that's September 7th. It comes with how to get up and started, how to set up your LLC the correct way, how to get your authority, how to find drivers, how to scale, how to get rental discounts, how to get ELDs, how to get pretty much everything that you need up and running. Then we also cover the DAT load board, which you can do the DAT load board in conjunction with your Amazon relay loads. Like, it depends on what time. I ain't gonna get too much into that. We cover that in Masterclass. But then I also have my compliance officer comes on, and she discussed the compliance aspect of running a logistics business. It's super important to make sure you have your compliance information as well, like hours of service, what's the do's and don'ts, because if you don't follow the do's and don'ts, you will get shut down. And then I also have my tax accountant come on. She also has a logistics business. Everybody has a logistics business. Then she comes on and tell you how to structure your company the correct, proper way so you don't get in trouble when the IRS comes, or how you pay yourself, payroll, W-2, 1099, all of that good stuff as well. That's in my masterclass. The next one is September 7th, which is a group masterclass. The masterclass is long. It's like 7-8 hours. But it's a lot of information. It's $9.99. You can reserve your slots by paying $4.99 down. then the remainder $4.99 prior to class. If you already bought my ebook, which is my ultimate bundle pack guide, I'll let people in the class for $750. Basically, you can send me a DM, or you can send an email at info@boxtruckshorty.com. info@boxtruckshorty.com. We'll send you an invoice for the $750. We can even break that $750 up into 2 payments for you to reserve your slots. And I also offer a one-on-one VIP masterclass, which is $1150 right now. It's still on sale. A lot of people are still inboxing me to keep it on sale, so it's still on sale for $1150. That's a 3-hour class. That's for people that can't make it on September 7th for whatever reason. They just want to be private and they want a more one-on-one masterclass. That's what that is. And you pick your dates. It's Monday through Thursday. You pick your dates at 12 o'clock Eastern, and then we get you up and running from that. That also comes with the leasing on option as well. So those are some things that you can do. Does the same thing work for semi-trucks? Yes, pretty much semi. So you can do Amazon relay with the smallest truck that you can do an Amazon relay with is a 16-foot box truck, what they call a cube truck when you're looking on Amazon load board. So a 16-foot cube truck is a 16-foot truck. So then the next size you have is the 26-foot box truck. If you're doing Amazon relay, you need a 26-foot box truck with a lift gate. However, there is people that do Amazon relay with a 24-foot box truck with a lift gate. You know, as long as it can fit 12 pallets, you're good to go. And then, of course, semis. You can have a semi, which is just a tractor only. You can do Amazon relay. Or if you have a tractor and a trailer, you can do Amazon relay as well. So those are the, equipment that you can do with Amazon relay. But, of course, if you're doing semis, but if you don't know, if you're new to logistics, you have to have a CDL, anything or 26,000 pounds and above. So if you're trying to operate a semi, you will need your CDL, and there's a lot. Not gonna say it's a lot. It's some more things that you gotta get or with your logistics company to get you, make sure you're in compliance. Someone said I need your help, so I think I'm gonna book a call with you next week. That's what's up. Book a call. My calls. If you're on the fence, you don't know what you want to do. You kind of like, I don't know. Or if you're looking for somebody to mentor you, I don't actually have a physical mentorship program, but I do have consultations. I got people that call me like once a week, like a mentor, like, hey, look, bro, I'm on this. I'm doing this. I'm doing it this way. So I charge $99 for 30 minutes and $149 for an hour. So basically like an a la carte. So I'm not charging you like a set amount. I used to have a mentorship class and I was charging $5,000 back in the day, but it became too much time consuming. So because of that, I discontinued that. And I only have my, consultations. Someone said I'm in Ohio. Even in Ohio, it still works, bro. Someone said still have time to launch your own logistics company. Yep, peak season. So for you guys, I don't know if y'all looked the other day, but Amazon literally had their highest peak season, not peak season, Prime Day ever in recorded history. If you look at my the chart I put, if you look at it, it's a trajectory going up. Amazon did 14 point something billion. Let me see so I don't exactly lie. Amazon did, give me 1 second. Let's see what they did. Okay, yeah, so last year they did 13 billion in 2 days. Amazon did this year here for Prime Day, which is in July, was 16 to the 17. They did $14.2 billion. They sold $14.2 billion of products in 2 days. That is crazy. Some companies don't see $12 billion, $1 billion in a year, and they sold $12.2 billion in 2 days. Amazon is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So basically, if you miss Prime in July 16th and 17th, you have a chance to catch Prime again in October. So it's Prime twice a year, usually is in July and in October. If you don't know what Prime is, Prime Day is when they offer Prime services to people that don't really have Prime. And what that means is that everybody and their mama go rush to Amazon to purchase stuff so they can get Prime services without actually physically having the Prime. And the next one is in October, usually like the second, third weekend, not about the second week, like 15, 16, somewhere in October. But the good thing about it for us, the people that have Amazon Relay accounts that's doing Amazon Relay, is like a mini peak season. The lows, the rates get sky high for like 2 to 3 weeks, depending on your area. So you'll get a little peak season, which from the middle of October to like the first week of November. Then guess what happens in November? In November, everybody slows down. Nobody's going buying TVs and gifts and stuff like that, because you know why? What are they doing? They're waiting on Black Friday. They're waiting on peak season to start and the sales to hit before they start buying. So you get a little slowdown from November to whatever Black Friday week is, or when they start running Black Friday specials and sales. Then that's when all of the freight, then you catch peak season. So right now, we in August 7th. If you're thinking about getting up and running, this is the perfect time to actually start your company. If you're on the fence and say, oh, I'm going to wait till October, not saying you can't do it, but it might be too late, because if you're starting in October, it's going to take you 21 days to get your authority up and running if you are completely brand new. 21 business days, which is really 30 days. So if, let's say you wait till October, now you're pushing yourself to November. November, guess what happened? Your authority goes active, but guess what happens in November? Everybody and their mama wants to get into logistics. So everybody and their mama went and got multiple trucks. Everybody and their mama scaling up. So what I do is when I start scaling up for the month of October, I keep my trucks. So I usually keep 5 trucks year round, but when time comes to October, I scale up to 7, 8 trucks. Anytime I can get a truck, I'll keep a truck, because it's going to be harder to find a truck come November. Because even FedEx and UPS, then they start renting box trucks to do deliveries. So you don't want to wait till the last minute to try to get into logistics. If you're trying to get into it now, so you'll have the hang of things. So hopefully when peak season come, or even Prime Day in October, you will be able to scale up. If you look, man, Lowe's is paying $900, $800 for the same load that's paying $500, $600 right now. So you definitely don't want to miss Prime Day and peak season. So start now. And like, if you don't know what peak season is when you can make a ton of money. Each week, the Lowe's are paying $700, $800, $900, $1,200, $1,500 for a load that normally would pay, let's say $600 year round. Someone says, let's see, still have time to launch, skip. They will add you in your vehicle insurance and charge you a fee. Somebody answer somebody else's question. So how do you find good drivers? Because I can make the note of the drivers just aren't staying. I find good drivers by posting my job description that I have in my Ultimate Bundle Pack Guide. Captain, I don't know if you have my Ultimate Bundle Pack Guide, but I have a job description that's already in there. I forgot what page it's on. Most people, they just buy the ebook, which is $199. It has, if you need to get your authority, if you need to get your LLC, if you need to get ELD, gas costs, all my resources are in there. I have a job description in there. You can literally copy, paste it, put it on Indeed, put it on ZipRecruiter, put it on anywhere that you can, find drivers. And I guarantee you in a day or two, you'll have 20 or 30 applicants. It's real simple. It has my pay scale, what I'm looking for, everything you need. You can move out some of the stuff that you don't agree with, but it's real simple. You just post that, and that's how I find my drivers. I look and I always hire drivers in the location. I don't want to drive up no more than 30, 45 minutes from where the Amazon facility is at as well. So that's what I do. I hope that answered your question. Someone said if I get a rental truck right now for 2 to 3 months. Yeah, I guess I don't know if you answered somebody else. Someone said the best business. Someone said the best in the business. Respect. Thank you, Premium Truck Sales. I appreciate that. Someone said, can I work under your MC? And you can tell me someone I could work and see someone's MC number. I don't know what that. I don't understand your question, Skip. Okay, they talking to each other. Someone says, interested in the box truck shorty drivers training program? Yes, so if you don't want to drive, you want to keep your 9 to 5, you want to send your drivers to Atlanta, you can send your drivers to Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I have a 2-day driver training and a 3-day driver training. So you literally can set this whole company up. Y'all always hear me talk about my cousin. My cousin is in the career for 21, 22 years. Never drove a box truck just like me. Got 5, 6 trucks. I don't know how many he got right now at this moment. 5 or 6 trucks. Has a career. Like I said, been in it for 22 years working for the government. However, he has his trucks. His trucks is not where he's at. You see, I'm not trying to tell y'all you can put your trucks wherever you want them. His trucks is 4-5 hours away from him. He's never even been to the place where his trucks is at. So you can't tell me it can't be done. It can be done. So if you feel like Houston got a better market, or Ohio got a better market, or Chicago got a better market by going the route that I'm telling you guys, which is the rental route. Now, if you purchase a truck, you might not want to send your truck to Chicago or Houston and your truck is just sitting out there because you own that truck. I wouldn't do that if I owned the truck. Now, if I had a truck and I owned it, yeah, I would let the person do OTR. But even then, you hear the horror stories of people leaving that truck, dropping that truck off. Drivers getting mad and just saying, hey, catch a flight home and leave your truck. But guess what? This is a rental truck. I've never been in business 3.5 years. I've never had nobody damage the truck. I've never had nobody leave the truck. So with that being said, only one thing I had to do is one time I had a driver. He ran a stop sign in a small town up in North Georgia. Got pulled over. Guess what? He had a warrant for him and his sister had got into something. So they ended up taking him to jail, leaving the truck behind like a gas station. He wasn't able to tell me. So guess what I did? All I did was hit up Ryder and say, hey, I need to know the location of this truck. Ryder sent me a geofence location and told me exactly where the truck was at. I saw it was behind a gas station. Went to Google, looked up the gas station, called the gas station, said, hey, is there a box truck sitting behind you guys that's showing up in the thing? They was like, yeah, it's sitting back here. Nobody's bothering. Okay, guess what? Called one of my other drivers, two of my drivers, had them go run up to Ryder, get a key made. They was free, get the key, drove up there, paid them to do it, but they had to drive up there, go pick up the truck. It's like an hour away and brought it back to Atlanta. So that's the worst I've had owning a rental truck. So with a rental truck, and a lot of people, like, what if the person quit and they want to keep the truck? It's not my truck, it's a rental truck. You can actually call Ryder and go make them pick up that truck. So with that being said, when you are renting a truck, you have a lot of advantages of things that you can do without, as if you own that truck. And then when renting a truck, it's easier to scale. Nobody, I don't care what y'all be watching people and they like sleeping in their truck, one truck, making money, or they might have two trucks. Yeah, that sounds good, fine and dandy, but the name of logistics, UPS, FedEx, and I keep preaching this, is scaling. You can't make money. Well, I'm not saying you can't. You can make money with one truck, two trucks. But if you want to make real money that can get you out of your 9-to-5 or retire you from your 9-to-5 or to make a lot of money passively, multiple trucks. You keep getting multiple trucks. That's just like anything in life. If you are a person that buys houses and hold them and do rentals, one rental ain't going to retire you from your job. You get what I'm saying? You need to have multiple rentals. It's called cash flow. Go read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad if you don't know what bringing in cash flow is. So it's scaling. Scaling is the number. So I don't want to own one truck. I'd rather rent 5 trucks because I know how much money I'm going to make with 5 trucks. With one truck, you got a ceiling of what you can make. Whereas you rent a truck is a little bit different. Just like I always say, y'all probably get tired of me saying this, but scaling changed my life. I never drove a box truck. I started this in 2021. I hired my best friend as my first driver. Then I scaled up to 2 trucks, 3 trucks, 4 trucks, scaled up to 8 trucks. I set up 2 companies. I done did it all. I done made all the mistakes you can possibly make. But you have to scale to be able to live the life that you want with trucking. And that's just anything in life. I'm just trying to tell you. And like I always say, I modeled my whole system after Uber. If you think about the future, think about Uber, think about Airbnb and Turo. They control stuff like Uber controls cars, but they don't own it. So you have to pay your own car note in your car, right? Think about this. Uber makes, go follow the Uber stock. Uber makes money, right? Let's just say you have a car note, you're paying $500 a month. So you have to pay your own car note, you got to pay your own insurance, you got to get your own maintenance, right? But Uber is using your car for every time you drive a route, and let's just say you made $30, Uber made $10 of it. They're making small amount of money off of each car. They're not trying to knock a home run with one car. They're making $10 here, $20 here, $20 here. That money adds up. That's scaling. Well, guess what? You in a wreck? That has nothing to do with them. That's on you. Your car breakdown, that has nothing to do with you. You need gas, you need tires. Uber don't have to pay for that. So being able to control something without the cost of ownership is how you become rich and make a lot of money. Same thing with Turo, same thing with Airbnb. Making a little bit of money off of somebody that already owns something. So that's the same concept that I use with the rental strategy. Like nobody was doing this before I was doing it. So renting a truck, and I know y'all heard a lot of time, using other people's money. Well, guess what? I am using other people's money to make money. Instead of me actually physically using money, I'm using their equipment, which they bought with money, to make my money. So that's it in a concept. of how I came up with my little system. Someone said, how much would a call be to schedule with you? I'm here in Houston. Can we also meet up and talk? I'm in Atlanta, so I can't meet up with you in Houston, Catherine. But my phone calls is $99 for 30 minutes, and it is $149 for an hour. All you got to do is, if anybody that's trying to book any service with me, you go to boxtruckshorty.com, or you can click the link in my bio, and you can book anything. You can book my 2-day, 3-day, my VIP Masterclass. You can book my Ultimate Bundle Pack Guide, which is $199 as well. And you can read my articles. I got podcasts on there. I got my Forbes article on there rolling out, all my little magazines that I've been in, and stuff like that. So everything can be booked on boxtruckshorty.com. Let's see, 100. Someone said, and turn into a liability, no cash flow. It will turn into a liability. I don't know what that means. How do you deal with DOT audits and rentals? DOT audits and rentals, that's where my compliance officer comes into play at. So when you need that, you just tap in with her, and she can get you straight for your. If you join the master class, this class is a very, very, very informative class. Like, go read my reviews. A lot of people tell you stuff online that they do, or X, Y, and Z, or they got these clients, but I don't see a lot of testimonials or a lot of reviews. I have reviews, a ton of them. Go on my highlights. I got 1, 2, and 3. I got hundreds of reviews, especially my masterclass. This will be our 14th masterclass coming up in September. Really great class. For the information you're getting, you're not going to get this information nowhere else for $9.99. So with that being said, go join the masterclass. It comes with leasing on options, which will allow you to bypass the 180 days. If you want to get up and running, March of last year, Amazon changed their rules, so now you have to have your MC, DOT, your LLC up and running with insurance on for 180 days. You don't want to wait 180 days. You don't want to miss peak season. You don't want to miss Prime Day in October. Join my masterclass, and I'll get you up and running, pay you with one of my business partners, and you will be up and running. Even this for people that's already, I don't help people that's already doing Amazon, people that's, you might have the LLC, might have the authority, but they kind of lost. I've helped people that might have had the authority for 2 or 3 months. They went OTR and figured out that OTR is like a pain in the butt, because a lot of new brokers won't work with you if your authority is under 90 days. And even when it's past 90 days, the loads on the OTR load board is paying nowhere near what Amazon is paying. So Amazon is super simple. You don't need a dispatcher. You don't need to fill out no paperwork. You don't have to be like busy sending off carrier packets, waiting on a broker to call you back. You don't have to do that. You don't need a dispatcher. You can book all your loads yourself. I'll show you in the masterclass how to physically book loads. That's profitable. How to read the load board. We cover everything Amazon. I'll show you how to use Poster Truck, which is another feature that's on Amazon where a lot of people don't know. So that's why they're like, oh, I'm looking at the load board and I don't see no loads. Not knowing that nobody's really looking at the physical load board no more. Now everybody's using Poster Truck. So with that being said, that is why you don't see the good loads on the load board. Let me see. I wish I could do like an example. Let me see something. I ain't never did this before, but let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can show y'all something. Bear with me. Okay. Hold on 1 second. So I could do let me see if I can do something. Okay. All right. I'm going to spin this around. Okay. If y'all look at this load board, right? Let's see. Can y'all see this load board? Somebody, yes. Can y'all see this load board? Like somebody said yes, no. Can y'all see it? I'm going to skip over your comments so I can go down to the bottom and see if y'all can see this load board. Y'all can see it? Okay. All right. So if you look at this load board, right? You see this is Atlanta, right? You look at the load board, you look at the miles, you see right there, those are the miles, and you look at the pay. The pay is trash, right? $4.49. Let's just look. I'm going to pause it real quick. So let's look at it. Those are loads I wouldn't take. So let's just slide on down. Let me see if y'all can see this. Y'all see this? Not good paying loads on the load board, right? Y'all can see that? Trash, right? Now, this is in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm at, right? Now, let's go to, let me see, can y'all hear me? Can y'all can still hear me? Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to poster truck. All right. All right. So I'm going to post it around. So now you see, that was the search load board, right? They see my little arrow search. Now it's on poster truck, right? Poster truck, we're going to do a box truck. We're going to do 26 foot. We're going to go right here. I'm going to put in Atlanta. I'm going to put in the same city that y'all just saw, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to slide on down. Hold on, I'm just putting the times in. Okay. So between 1 and 230 miles, right? Y'all see that? Now watch this. Now go here. Do y'all see where this thing right here says not calculated right here? Y'all see this? It's no calculations, right? Nothing. Not calculated. Now I'm going to go right here and I'm going to put price per mile. I'm going to put $3. Right? And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to put 500. Let's just see. Hold on, what's going on? What I miss? I missed something. Hold on. Submit. Minimum stem time. Okay. So if you're looking right now, I'm telling Amazon that I'll take a load between 1 and 230 miles, right? And minimum $3 per mile and a minimum payout at $500. It says I have a high outlook of getting that. So look, let's go back. Let's put 550. We put 550, we still on high. Let's go back, put 600. Submit. We still on high. That's $3 a mile at $600. Let's keep going until it hits medium so you can see your threshold of your area. So 650, still high. All right. Now when we hit 700, that's probably now you see how it dropped to medium? Now this will let you know where your threshold is at. $700 in Atlanta. So let's just go back to 650. You go back to 650. High. Okay? All right. So when we was just looking at the load board, right? Let's go back. You want to go back and look at the load board? If we look at the load board, we just saw that there was no loads on the load board paying $500, correct? So because of that, what I keep telling people is when you looking at the load board, it's pointless because people are using poster trucks. So poster trucks are loads that's popping that you're going to be able to get that before they hit the load board. That's where you're able to get the load. So you saw 600, 650 was a high probability that you're going to get this load. But when you see people that keeps looking at the load board, say, oh man, I looked at the load board and ain't no loads on there. The load's paying $1.70, $1.50, $1.80. You are absolutely correct. I made a bunch of videos already explaining this. The way how Amazon work is completely different from how the DAT load board operate. The DAT load board, if they got 100 loads, they throw 100 loads on the load board. What you see is what you get. You cannot judge an area with Amazon by looking at the load board. You got to use poster truck. So I'm going to use this analogy again. In Atlanta, y'all just saw the load board. I just showed it to you. It's trash, right? When you're looking at it. If you're physically looking at the load board, it ain't a lot of good loads on the physical load board. We didn't even see a load that was paying $500 on the load board. But if you're using poster truck, there is loads that's paying $500-$600, and you have a high probability. So with that being said, let's go back and peep at it one more time so y'all can see. Same thing. Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia, box trucks, 26 foot. Look at it. I'm going to pause it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pause it, and then I'm going to do by relevance, because you can switch it where it is the highest paying load on here, on the spot load board. So the highest paying load on here in the spot load board is $4.97, $1.46, which is trash. I would not take that load. None of these loads I would take. So when I keep telling you guys, you cannot look at the load board, that's a classic example of letting people think Amazon ain't paying. Amazon ain't paying. Amazon ain't paying. They only paying X, Y, and Z. Guess what? Wrong. Use your postal truck. If you got 300 carriers in Atlanta and 200 people are using postal truck, think about it. That's 200 loads that's never making it to the spot load board. That's why the spot load board is always dry. So there you go. That's my first time ever pulling up the load board on live. I just wanted to put it out there so you guys can see what I'm saying and know it's not like no BS, because you have a lot of social media people saying Amazon ain't paying, Amazon ain't paying, Amazon ain't paying. Amazon pay way better than the DAT load board, hands down. Less headache, no factoring. So if you get a $650 load a day, let's just say you get an $800 load with an Amazon with DAT load board, right? You might book that load going to Texas. You get out to Texas, you might not nothing to have come back. So now you got to pay for lodging. Sometimes you got to let your truck sit for 2 or 3 days. I know people saying partial. That is like chasing money. There's a difference when you chasing money and you let money chase you. So partials, going here, sleeping in your truck, being like a savage. If you want to live like that, then go ahead. But at the end of the day, the money's in consistency. There's only 2 days of the year that Amazon ain't running. That's Christmas and New Year's Eve. Y'all can keep chasing. Hey man, I'm sleeping in my truck. You want to tell those trucker stories and be a savage, and like with OTR, you got to pay for a dispatcher, which you're usually paying 10%. So if a load is 800, you already gave 80 up to the dispatcher. So now you're at 720. Now at 720, you got to go do factoring up to 80%. Now you're down to 700. 700, guess what? You in Houston or Texas somewhere. You're not at home in your bed. You have to pay for lodging, or you're going to sleep in your truck. Use the bathroom in your truck. Where you going to wash off at? You see what I'm saying? You go get another hotel. Let's just say you get a $100 hotel. Now you at what? $600. You're making the same amount of money by booking a $650 load, and you're home every single day. I've never had a driver spend the night outside of his house ever. No factoring, no paperwork, no nothing. Consistent. Every day, all day, you can do this. So with that being said, I hope y'all, enjoyed my little presentation of that. What load board is this? That's the Amazon load board. So I don't know if you guys had a bunch of questions, but you're going to have to retype them, because when I went all the way down to the bottom to actually show you guys the load board to see if y'all guys can hear me, I skipped over a lot of questions. So if you had a question and you want me to answer it, please retype it. But I hope that makes sense to you guys. Stop listening to people telling you ain't no money in Amazon. It ain't no money in Amazon. If there was no money in Amazon, Amazon wanted their $14.2 billion in 2 days. You have to have common sense to know. Stop letting people talk fear into your world, your life, and stop listening to people. People told me 3 years ago I should have never got into logistics, was the wrong time. Every time is the wrong time. It's never the right time, especially when you're dealing with somebody. And they'll always tell you why you shouldn't do something. And I'm here to tell you, Amazon is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You go to the Amazon facility, you see 100 box trucks out there. Somebody making the money. Guess who's making the money? The people that know how to use postal trucks. Guess where you can learn how to use postal trucks at? Guess how you can get up and running? Join in my Masterclass. September 7th, Masterclass. September 7th. If you can't wait to September 7th, the Masterclass, like I said, is $9.99. You can reserve your slot for $4.99. Prior to the class, pay the other $4.99. If you send me a DM or info@BoxTruckShorty, say, hey, I just reserved my slot. Can you send me the ebook early? I will literally send you the ebook early, which is my ultimate bundle pack, guys, like 70-some pages. Guess what? You can start now. So when September 7th come, you'll have your LLC. You'll have your authority. Your authority be maturing where you should be able to get up and running right after class. September, hit the ground running. You got 1 month before peak time come again, which is Amazon Prime in October, right? So that's what you can do. Now, if you don't want to even wait till September 7th, I have a one-on-one VIP Masterclass, which is $11.50 right now. I was supposed to end it last Friday, but I had a lot of people saying, man, it's rent week, X, Y, and Z. Can you extend it? So I'm extending it till this Sunday right here for $11.50. After that, it's going up to $12.50. It comes with all the same thing. You get the lease on. You don't have to wait the 180-day wait with Amazon. I can get you up and running. I've helped hundreds of people come through the same exact system. So let me get back to answering a question. Say, did you give a class for the semi-truck? No, I don't give a class for the semi-truck, but the semis and the box truck is the same exact load board. Everything works the same. The only difference is with semis is you don't have to load your truck, which is the good part. So with semis, you got a semi, all you do is this drop, pull up, they load your truck, they hook, you go, and that's it. And to be honest with you, if you do have your CDL and you want to get up and running, take the Masterclasses, the same exact information. Then guess what? If you drive and you got a CDL, get you some more box trucks. Rent you some box trucks, get up and running. Same exact thing. All right, let's see. I have a Sprinter van. How can I make money with Amazon? With the Sprinter van, you cannot do Amazon Relay. Or with the Sprinter van, Yari. Sprinter vans, the smallest size you could do is a 16-foot cube truck, which is considered a box truck. Actually, depending on where you're at. Thanks. Free game about booking loads. This is just one topic covered in the masterclass. So yeah, in the masterclass, we pull up the actual load board, show you how to make profitable loads, how to make it make sense. Because a lot of people, I'm telling you, read the load board wrong. When they look at it, this is what they, so I'm going to give y'all another gem that I give out in the masterclass, but I'm just going to tell you about it. I'm not going to show you. So basically, if you look at a load, let me see if I can find a load real quick. Let's see. I'm taking y'all a class tonight. Let's see if I can find a load, what I'm trying to illustrate. Just bear with me a second. Is this one? Yeah, this, I guess. Yeah, I guess this could work. So let me show y'all something. All right, so let me back out of this real quick. All right, let me see. Where's that load at? Okay. All right, let me flip the screen. Okay. If you look, you will see this load right here. It's picking up in Atlanta, and it has 1 through 5, which means it has 4 stops. All right, if you click on it, it's a trash pan load. I'm just using this load for illustration purposes to show you something. So a lot of people will see this load, right? And they'll say, hey, man, this load is, you see my hand right here, it's 276.2 miles. Now, let's just say this load was paying $650. It's not. It's a trash load. It's only paying $1.62. I would never book a load that's paying that amount. But I'm just trying to show y'all for illustration purposes, right? So 276 miles. Let's say it was paying $650, $700. A lot of people will be like, man, I'm not driving 276 miles with Amazon because you got a dead head back home. That's what you always have people. Amazon don't give you nothing to come back. So when you're looking at this load board in your brain, if you, let's say it was paying $700, which is not, you'd be like, man, I got to drive 276.2 miles back home. That's too much miles, right? Which is wrong. If you're looking at the load board and you're looking at the Amazon, they got a map in there. So you leave Atlanta, 1 would be under this 3. Then you will go to 2. 2, then you will go to 3. Then 3 is back in Atlanta. So basically they're saying it's going to be 276 miles while freight until you get on the truck. So it's 1, 2, you still in Georgia, you back in 3, you back at Atlanta, you go to 4, which is by Chattanooga, and then 5 is the last stop. So it's telling you that when you book this load, when you get to your last stop, you would have driven 276.2 miles. If you go and look, that is basically $55 plus 15 bucks plus that'll be 65, 70. That's basically what, 85, 90, about 90 bucks in fuel, I would say. So 90 bucks in fuel to go this route. Now, this is the catch. When you look at the last stop on here, right? And you look at the last stop or this stop, let's see if I can get it to expand. Sometimes it acts stupid. Okay. The last stop. So the first stop is Atlanta, Alpharetta. You back to Commerce, Georgia. Trying to go to the last thing. So Trenton, Georgia is where your last stop will be at. Once you get to your last stop, which is the 276 mile, you will be in Trenton, Georgia, right? So now, let me switch the camera back around. Now, let's see how far Trenton, Georgia is from Atlanta, Georgia. Let me Google that. Trenton, Georgia. So Trenton, Georgia is 96 miles away from Atlanta. All right. So you want to see 96 miles away from Atlanta, Georgia. So basically, when you're finished your load, a lot of people brain, when they look at the load board, the first thing they say is, let's just say the load was paying $700, right? For 276 miles. An average person's like, man, I drive 276 miles. Now I got a dead head home 276 miles. No, that's not true. You got to be able to read the load board and see where your last stop is. The last stop of this load is saying from 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5. You have freight on your truck for 276 miles. But once you get to your fifth stop, you're only 96 miles from home. That's not deadheading 276 miles. So Amazon is not a lot of deadhead like people think it is. So the average person runs from Amazon because they think the deadhead is 276 miles. Now, if the load was paying $700 and you had to get to the farthest stop and your fifth stop was 276 miles away from Atlanta, then yeah, that's too far to deadhead back empty. But if you deadheading back 96 miles, you already see you burning $90 in fuel. But going to 276 miles, you can add another $20, $30, and you probably spend $115 on fuel. That's the difference. Being able to read the load board. Tap in with the class. We pull up the load board. We show you all of this good information. Nobody's going to show you this kind of information. They just talk trash about Amazon. Oh, man, Amazon's too much deadheaded. Not if you know how to read the load board. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, because those are some of the things that we cover in class. I've been doing lives forever. I've never pulled up the load board. I said, you know what? Just let me pull up the load board so I can show you guys real life scenarios. So you can stop listening to the naysayers about, oh, when somebody tell you Amazon ain't paying, ask them are they using postal truck. That's just it. If they don't know use postal trucks, that's the reason why you need to sign up for my man Box Truck Shorty's Masterclass. That's why you're not making no money. All right. Someone said sign up for Masterclass for Expo. Okay, that's talking. This is awesome. We learning tonight. Yes, most definitely. We learning tonight. You got to learn how to read that load board. And I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes a mentor is the difference between night and day, between being successful in your business and your business shutting down. I keep preaching this, and y'all probably think I'm preaching this because I get paid. I like helping people. I reach out to DMs. I do lives. I don't get paid. I help a lot of people. But at the end of the day, time is money. If somebody's super successful in something, they ain't going to just give it to you for free. I'm just going to be honest with you. So with that being said, everything I've ever done, from real estate to, a t-shirt shop, I've always had me a mentor. A mentor already took the bruises, the beat ups, the licks. They know what to do, when not to do it. And that's where you get me at. I'm saving you a ton of money, because logistics in any business without a mentor is expensive. So let me get back to, someone said, how come none of the big social media names like yourself and others never have dedicated lanes? Because dedicated lanes to me, I know some dispatchers, like for example, just got somebody in Atlanta, a dedicated lane. I don't know, he might be on here because I'm the one to hook you up with the person. So if you're on my live, let me know. But he has a dedicated lane, I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, leaving out of Atlanta, going to Alabama, I think it is Huntsville, Alabama. I don't like DAT load board. I don't like dedicated. I don't like none of that. Nothing wrong for other people. I like Amazon. I like to be able to run my company from this. I like the simplicity of it. I don't like submitting paperwork. I just don't like it. So there's nothing wrong with it. Some people like dedicated. I just never really got into it. I like Amazon for its simplicity, which allowed me to be able to keep my 9 to 5 for a whole entire year and work Amazon. So that's why I like it. But there's nothing wrong with dedicated. Dedicated, I know people that do it. They love dedicated runs. You got a dedicated run. What's better than you having dedicated money? In my eyes, I look at Amazon as dedicated because I can book a $600 load every single day when I want to, when I don't want to. I'm not restricted to it. So to me, in my eyes, Amazon is dedicated as it come. Only 2 days I'm not running is Christmas and New Year's. So, but I get what you're saying. Dedicated means, hey, you're going to take this route every single day. But I get it. And dedicated is usually 3 days, 5 days, where I could just do Amazon 7 days because my truck runs 7 days. So now y'all always see when y'all hear me say this, but I'm making $200 a day per truck. Now you see, if my bills add up, like I would tell you, if my expenses add up to $400 a day and I'm booking a $600 a load a day, that's $200 per truck times 5 trucks. My truck run 5 days a week. That's $1,000 a night. My truck run 30 days. 30 days. Christmas and New Year's is when my trucks don't run. Other than that, 30 days, $30,000 net, not gross. You know, a lot of people like make jokes about, oh, you gross millions. Guess what? Netting $30,000. The time I go to sleep tonight, I wake up $1,000. That's a pair of Louis shoes. You know what I'm saying? But every night, that is crazy. And like I said, let's just say you don't making $1,000 a night with 5 trucks. Let's say you got 5 trucks, you're only making $100 a night. I always give this example. $100 a night ain't gonna change nobody on this live life, but $100 a night, and you got 5 trucks, that's $500 a night. $500 a night times 30, and you run your trucks just like I run it. And I'm gonna show you in my class how to keep your truck running every single night, how to get a part-time driver, and how to move your schedule around. So your truck running, that's 30 times 5, that's what? $15,000 a month net. I was not making $15,000 a month at my job. I wasn't making nowhere near $15,000 a month in corporate America. So $15,000 a month net, all net, right? Times 12, that's $180,000. Go look it up. Your governor probably don't make $180,000 a year. Your average lawyer, doctor don't bring home $180,000 a year net. I'm telling you, it'll change your life if you learn it. And that's just with 5 trucks. You get 10 trucks, is more. So the sky's the limit. I'm telling you, it's going to be somebody that's even bigger than Box Truck Shorty eventually. They're going to have 10 trucks making, $2,000 a night. But, I mean, hey, how much I owe you for the free game? You don't owe me nothing for the free game, man. This is me just giving out free game. Thank you, bro. Thank you for explaining this. I've been discouraged by so many naysayers. This makes sense. The postal truck. Exactly, man. I'm telling you. The naysayers will always keep you. Like, they got gatekeepers. They got people that give you half information. People that make you think it's easy. I'm telling you, sleeping in a truck ain't easy. Going OTR all across the world with a new authority, they ain't telling you the truth. And then under 90 days, you think these loads that looking bad on the on the post truck, the spot load, boy, man, you might making 80 cents a mile. You got to piece together stuff. I'm not saying you're not going to have one successful person that's doing it, but that reality of 9 out of 10 people being successful doing OTR work, it ain't that possible, man. It's hard. It's hard. So don't be fooled. Amazon is super, super, super easy. You can run the whole company from your cell phone. I'm going out of town this weekend. I'm going to still run my whole business. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what else we got. Damn, I've been lowballing myself. Yeah, have you been lowballing yourself? Yeah, so like I said, this is my first time because I got tired of the naysayers. And I usually just kind of put this stuff out in my class. But I'm like, you know what? As you see it, and this is on my mother's grave, I didn't even plan to pull up the load boy. I just said, you know what? Let me pull it up. Let me show them because I have to show y'all guys because I done made a bunch of reels about postal trucks. But if you don't see it, you never believe it. So classic example, just pulled it up. 600, 650 high. But not even a $500 load on the load board. So that cancels out all of the naysayers. The naysayers right there. Yeah. Let's see. What questions we got? I hope that got y'all antsy and y'all fired up so y'all can get into this class or get started. Even if you don't use my work, use my services, get up and running. Get up and running. You will not regret it, man. I'm telling you. I don't care if it's a war. I don't care if it's another pandemic. I don't care if it's an earthquake. I don't care if it's a wildfire, a hurricane. Trucks ain't never going to stop. Real estate is my 100% passion. I love real estate. I mean, I love it. I can't wait to get back into it. However, real estate is not recession proof. When the interest rates goes up, stuff start moving funny. When the pandemic hit, the prices of materials skyrocketed. People wasn't getting evicted. There's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to real estate. Well, logistics, and a lot of people's like, so let me tell you why a lot of people say this, because they always go back to, in the pandemic, everybody was making so much money. Why are we acting like logistics was born during the pandemic? Like that's the only time people made money. People been millionaires off of logistics before the pandemic came. People been making money. Like if logistics stopped for one day, y'all think the economy will crash? It will crash. So with that being said, the only difference is during the pandemic, yes, more people were ordering. So it was a lot easier. Brokers were desperate to get stuff moved. So they was taking anybody. You didn't have to have a 90-day authority to do OTR. Everybody's like, hey, we got to get this freight. We got to get this freight. Now that it's got back down to normal, that's completely different. And also, 3 years ago when I first started, Poster Truck didn't really exist like this. So what Amazon was doing 3 years ago is, remember how I tell you the DAT load board, they just dump 100 loads on the load board every day? Amazon was doing the same exact thing 3 years ago. 3 years ago, nobody used Poster Truck because it was dangerous. It didn't have all of the safety features of picking this, price per mile. It would just give you anything. So with that being said, 3 years ago, I booked all my load off the spot load board. So remember, I was working a 9 to 5 when I'm getting up. I'm up until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, booking loads for 8 trucks like a crackhead because I didn't have Poster Truck. But now Amazon don't just dump 100 loads on the load board every night. They see what Poster Truck loads are on the load board. They fill all of the Poster Truck's orders first. Whatever is not filled, then they throw the scraps on the load board. For the people that don't know how to use Poster Truck, that's what you're picking up, the scraps. So there you go. That's how Amazon play. That's why you don't see loads paying like 3 years ago. Go challenge anybody who says otherwise. Amazon ain't paying. They was paying 3 years ago. They still paying 3 years later. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Go back. I'm an owner operator. Let me see. Someone said, hold on, let me see. I never tune in, but I'm glad I did tonight. We really appreciate this. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you. That's right. Seeing is believing. Someone said, I'm an owner operator, but I want to get workers to do box truck. How can I get on that side, bro? Tap in with me, man. Join my masterclass. I'll show you how to find a driver, how to scale. You ain't even got to wait the 180 days. I can get you up and rolling. Masterclass September 7th. You can reserve your slot for $4.99 and pay the other, $4.99 and before the class. It comes with the ebook, leasing on option, all my contacts, ELDs. I mean, you name it. I had put everything in my brain into this class for the last 3 years. So with that being said, I have a high success rate. Like the only way you can mess up is if you just don't have no grind, no hustle. That's the only thing I can't give you. Everything else, I'm giving it to you. I'm laying it all out. Someone said no keeping in the box heads world. And if you purchase now and if you get a credit card and pay their craft, you can go towards the right path. J and Box Truck Shorty paved. That's what's up, man. Money Ben. I don't know who you are, but man, I appreciate that. There ain't no gatekeeping, man. I ain't gatekeeping. I get a lot of slack from people that say, you telling everybody. They don't want you guys to know. They don't want y'all to make money because people just don't like everybody to have. And that's just the way the world works. Someone said, at what time do you start booking loads for your drivers? I see you do 11 p.m. before 11 a.m. following the day. Is that correct? So what I do is when I wake up in the morning, let me tell you how easy. Let me tell you a day in my life, what I do. So since you asked, I'm going to tell you. I wake up in the morning, whatever time I wake up. I usually have consultations starting at 12. So whatever time I wake up, I try to jump up by 11, grab me some breakfast real quick. 12 o'clock hit. Before 12 o'clock hit, I'm setting my poster trucks while I'm either heating up my food, cooking my food, or else. So I set all 5 of my poster trucks. So let me tell you one other little nugget before I get into that. You saw how I made a poster truck, right? And I made one poster truck for the truck. And it said 600, 650 was high. Guess what? I'm going to tell y'all this. This is the last gem I'm going to give y'all tonight. You can set 3 poster trucks for one truck now. That's something new Amazon came out with. So for every truck that you have, you can set 3 poster trucks. And guess what happens? When Amazon pick one of the 3, whatever you can put one for $500 at $350, $4. I meant to do that too. I'll do that probably next week. Show y'all like you can put how you can do that. But with that being said, when you do that, whatever one they book, they'll automatically cancel the other 2. So for every truck you have, that's like having 3 fishing poles fishing. That's the beauty of it. So back to what I'm saying. So I set my poster trucks for the night coming up, right? I always do all my poster truck for the night coming up. I set it in the morning. Usually by 7, 8 o'clock, the poster trucks hit. My drivers will wake up. They'll give me a thumbs up. Hey, thumbs up in the group me text. I know that means they got their load. They're going to go do the load. They go. When they get to Amazon, they'll just tap in the group chat. Hey, at Amazon, checked in. Or if they got a train or somebody they train it, they text in. Now, mind you, I don't talk to them. Checked in. I look. Okay, they checked in. They go pick up their load. They do their load. They come back. They text me in the morning. I'm back. I do the same exact thing every single day. That's the extent of me running my logistics company. Now, that's super simple. Remember, when I was working my 9 to 5, I wasn't using poster trucks. So when I would get off, I'm looking at the load board all day like a crackhead. But now Amazon made it super easy. That's why, you heard me talking about my cousin. That's why he's able to have a professional job, career, and still run his old company. It's super simple. Yeah. Someone said, do you have issues getting your poster truck orders filled? No, not if you use that high thing. Now, if you go to medium, yeah, it might hit, it might not. So that's why if you go back and look at all my videos, man, I've been saying the same thing since day one. I don't like chasing home runs. Home runs, you ain't going to hit them all the time, but you can hit base hits. I don't need one $800 load, but then the next night I don't book nothing. You see what I'm saying? With that DAT, you might get an 800. You might have to sit 2 days. So in my brain, my truck's sitting for 2 days to get another load. That's a waste of time. My truck need to be making money. I need base hits. Give me a $625, $600 load every single day. Let me make my little 200 times 5 trucks. That's all I need. So I don't go shooting for the stars. Now, one of them 3, I might put 675, 700. If it hit, good. If it don't, I'm good with this $200 a day per truck. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Some saying I'm motivated. I have an LLC, all that. I'm ready to sell my truck, but I might rethink this. Yeah, book a consultation with me before you sell your truck, Catherine. Definitely book a consultation. Let's go over some stuff, and you might not need to sell your truck. Because if you already got the truck and it ain't broke, let's put the truck to work. Let's make the truck make some money. Someone says, is it true that not at Amazon location honor? What is that? Not true. Where did it go? On a poster truck like Miss Shoes, look at, they don't honor a poster truck. I've never seen a place that don't honor a poster truck. They might have their poster trucks too high, but everywhere honors poster truck. All right, let's see. Catherine's hard to sell right now. Okay, that's somebody talking to somebody else. Where do the blocks fit in? Blocks is for semis. All right. Someone said, do you have issue getting... I already read that one. Someone said, yo, boss, quick question. What's a good time to schedule use a poster truck in the L area, just in any area general? It just depends. So Amazon is 24/7. So some people do poster trucks for early in the morning. Some people do poster trucks from 8 to 12 to get a short run before they do their medium run. So you could do poster truck from 8 to 12 and get like a medium run. And that medium run might be like, you saw the one that went to Alpharetta. It might be 30. Uh-oh, my thing had went out. But yeah, so you can use that. You are the true bro, and your cousin, your bro, y'all is real. Thank you, Rico. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Someone said, I'm also a friend of Trucker Rhonda. I'm definitely checking in with you, bro. Yep, Trucker Rhonda, that's my business partner. Someone said, I text you about this, but no reply, but put me under someone their account that got suspended. If their account got suspended, you're going to either have to wait. It usually takes a couple days. It usually suspend their account for like a week. Reach out to Tiffany, but more than likely, you're just going to have to wait till it comes back up. 26-foot box trucks. Okay, Tiffany already kind of responded to that. Someone said, what's good? Next week, my authority reaches 6 months. Thank you for all the guidance, bro. Masterclass changed my life. That's what's up, Matthew. Congratulations, man. I remember you. That's dope. See, dope. Look at that. See, real live people. 6 months ago, came through the masterclass. Now his account is about to be active, man. My congratulations, bro. Congratulations. Yep. Someone said, in the relapse give you a high or a certain rate, but in my computer, it give me a different probability for the same orders. Which one is the best to hit the actual? I like high, so I don't know what you mean by that. So how many miles does your truck go for that 625? Usually about between 140 to 180 miles for that 625. Someone said, I think a mistake by buying a Sprinter. I see more opportunities for box truck. I agree with you. Where you get $600 load. If you missed it, go back and watch this replay when I posted on my live. You will be able to see where we was talking about the $600 load. Someone said, how I regain access if you get suspended for a high score. You're going to just have to wait it out if you get suspended. If you get suspended, they usually suspend you for a week. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You're going to have to wait the week, and then they'll reinstate your access to book loads. So does the poster give you the option? Can you turn down loads if they give it to you? No. So once you set the poster truck, if they fill your order, you have to take it. Now you can cancel your poster truck prior to booking, and there's no problem, no issues. But if you put your poster truck and they give you what you're asking for, you have to take that load. Yep. So remember, when are you getting these? Yeah, 100 to 140. Someone else meant that I'll be high in the phone for the same order, but in the computer it might say medium for the same order. I mean, which one is more accurate? Oh, I've never seen that before. I've used my phone. So I use my phone for majority of the loads that I book. So if you just tune in and you missed it, go back and watch this live. I'm going to wrap it up. September 7th, next masterclass. You can pay $4.99. It comes with the ebook. It comes with 7-8 hours worth of information. We cover how to book loads, how to make profitable loads, how to use poster truck, how to use the spot load board, when's the best time, how to find drivers, how to scale, ELD gas cards, how to set your authority up, pretty much everything you need to get up and running, how to use the DAT load board in conjunction with Amazon, compliance, and tax account information, all of that. If you don't want to wait till September 7th, I do have a VIP one-on-one masterclass, which is 11:50 till Sunday. You pick the time, the date, you can book it, boom, get you up and running before September 7th. But that's 30 days away if you don't want to wait. Other than that, I got a 2-day, 3-day driver training. The 2 day is $350, the 3-day is $400. I have an ebook. If you just kind of on the fence and you just want to get up and running and started, grab the ebook. Ultimate Bundle Pack Guide is $199. It comes with all my contacts, everything. The only thing it don't have is you won't be able to lease on. If you already purchased my ebook and you do want to lease on in the past, all you got to do is send me an email at info@boxtruckshorty. And we'll send you an invoice for the $750. Put your name, the order number that you purchased your ebook under, and we'll send you an invoice and just clarify if you need it split into 2 payments of $375 or 1 payment for $750. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the live tonight. I really did, because like I said, I never was this interactive with the audience. So I hope you guys stop listening to the naysayers, get up and get you some money. We got Prime Day coming in October, and we got peak season around the corner. Get up and get some of this money. Don't let the naysayers stop you. Y'all just see it. Any naysayer talking trash about you can't make money with Amazon, tag them in this video and just send it to them. All right? And I'm going to put it on YouTube. So with that being said, I hope to see you guys at the top. I'm out.